I'm Ben Weaver, Illinois attorney and founder of 23 Legal. I help people around Chicago area buying and selling a house, and also with wills, trusts, and other estate planning documents. And today I'm here to talk about page 11 of the Illinois Real Estate Multi-Board Contract 8.0. Now this is the 11th segment in a continuing series where we're dealing with every page of the contract, and today we're on magical page 11. So let's get started. Page 11 is mostly a continuation of the last paragraph on page 10, which is the buyer's home sale contingency. Now this is a doozy of a paragraph because there's a lot of details in there. It starts on page 10 and it covers almost all of page 11. But the big details are in paragraph 31C on page 11. It gives the seller the right to continue, keep it on the market in case another bona fide offer comes through. So if the seller has the house on the market and they continue to show it to buyers, which they're allowed to do, and another buyer comes along and says, hey, we'll present a contract to buy the house, the seller has to go to the buyer and they have to give them a certain amount of time to counter that new offer. So basically, the seller tells the buyer, hey look, we got another offer on the house and we'll give you blank. I say blank because it's blanked in the contract and the parties have to fill it in. Number of hours to waive this home sale contingency and keep moving without it. Now it's important on this blank to note that it says blank hours, not business hours. So if the realtors fill it in and they say 24 hours or 48 hours, that just means 1 or 2 days. So if it happens on a Friday night, there isn't a business day. So a lot of times the attorneys will see that and they'll cross out the 48 hours and they'll write in 2 business days so that hopefully the attorneys have a chance to review the situation before the contract is canceled. All right, after paragraph 31C, you have paragraph 31D. And paragraph 31D gives the buyer a chance to waive their home sale contingency and move forward with the transaction without a home sale contingency. The important detail here is that the buyer has a blank where they can list a certain amount of extra earnest money if they wish to waive this contingency. So, first off, it's a pretty serious situation if a buyer can even afford to waive the home sale contingency and just say, okay, we're going to move forward and buy the house. Maybe they have a loan, maybe they don't. But then the seller can step it up and when they're filling out the contract, add an additional amount of earnest money so that the buyer has to say, not only are we waiving our home sale contingency, but we're also going to add an extra $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 to the earnest deposit to show that we really are serious about purchasing the house. And an important step and an important commitment to the buyer if they're really serious about buying this house. Well, that is the home sale contingency. It's a doozy, it's a long one. There are a lot of details. There's one more paragraph on page 11, and that is paragraph 32, which is the cancellation of an existing contract. The seller enters into a contract to sell the house to a buyer, and that buyer, maybe 3 days after signing the contract, they get cold feet. They say, forget it, we don't want to buy the house. So the seller relists it, and another buyer comes along quickly and decides to purchase the house. But that first buyer hasn't officially canceled the contract. Maybe they've sent a cancellation letter, but they haven't officially sent out all the paperwork to cancel the contract. The seller can enter into a contract with a new buyer as long as the two parties initial paragraph 32, which basically says, hey, we understand that there's an existing contract, but that contract is being canceled, and we're going to move forward on the second purchase, acknowledging the first contract and acknowledging that the first contract will be canceled within X amount of days moving forward. So that's paragraph 32 and page 11. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you're finding all of these videos in this series interesting. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'm Ben Weaver. I'm always interested in talking to anyone looking to buy or sell a house in the Chicagoland area, and I'll see you in the next video.